To the Village Council meeting of Monday, February 27th, 2017. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Commissioner Milovich Walters.
Present.
Commissioner Polk.
Yep.
Commissioner Reed. Commissioner Tablatis.
Here. I'd like to call Ethan Olivan up to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Ethan is a Boy Scout who was working with me on one of his merit badges this evening before the council meeting, so I thought he'd we all stand. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, and liberty and justice for all. Good job. Now get home and do your homework. Just joking. Okay.
No, good thought.
Now he's got to watch some of the meeting, I think, for purposes of...
The merit badge.
So we have on our agenda this evening approval of the minutes from our previous meeting on Monday, February 13th. You have a draft of those minutes in your packet. Any questions, comments? If not, I'd seek a motion to approve the minutes at this time.
So move.
Can I second? Okay, second.
Hearing a motion and a second, will the clerk please call the roll?
Commissioner Polk.
Yep.
Commissioner Milovich Walters.
I'm told I can say yes. I was not here, but yes.
Mayor Milovich.
Yes. Consent agenda. All items on the consent agenda are routine or have been brought forward at the direction of the Board of Commissioners and will be enacted with one motion. If discussion is desired, that item will be removed from the consent agenda and considered separately. Item A, to adopt an ordinance approving a corner side yard setback variation, 9302 West 122nd Street. The ordinance states the Village Council approves and adopts the findings and recommendations of the Zoning Board of Appeals for a 14.1-foot variation from the 50-foot minimum corner side yard setback requirement for the construction of an addition to the existing single-family residence. Item B, to approve the intergovernmental agreement for planning and administering the 10th Annual Southwest Half Marathon and 10K in the South Suburban area. Item C, to approve payment of invoices on the warrant list dated February 27, 2017, in the amount of $75,569.20. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda at this time?
So moved.
Second.
Hearing a motion and a second, would the clerk please call the roll?
Commissioner Milovich Walters.
Yes.
Commissioner Polk.
Yep.
Mayor Milovich.
Yes, thank you. Any items of old business to be brought before the council? Board, commission, and committee recommendations. Item A is to consider the ZBA recommendation regarding the request of Dennis L., Gene M., and Peter J. Leggett for a front yard setback variance of 19.36 feet from the required 100 feet to allow construction of an addition to the existing single-family residence on the property commonly known as 12321 South Hobart. Is the petitioner here this evening? You want to step up in case there's any questions? So,
Good evening.
how are you
My name is
doing?
Patrick Connolly, President of Mora Builders, I'm representing the family. The addition.
I am going to just read a little bit of the background, and then if there's any questions, if you could just stay up here to...
Sure.
So, an ordinance approving the zoning board of appeals case, ZBA 2017-2, request a front yard setback variance of 19.36 feet from the required 100-foot setback from Chapter 1268.02E1 of the Village Code to allow for the construction of an addition to the single-family residence on Hobart. Property is zoned R1A, single-family residential, and has an existing single-family residence on the lot. The lot has an approximate width of 100 feet by 234.85 feet in length, and is a total of 23,506 square feet. The petitioner is requesting the variation because the natural slope of the property and the property to the south necessitate expanding the home by building forward on the lot. This request is required to avoid creating drainage problems for both properties that would be created by building within the 100-foot setback requirement. I'm just looking for the ZBA.
Here.
Okay. So, typically the vote's on this. So,
Your Honor, the ZBA did vote 5-0 with one member absent to
Okay.
recommend to the council approval of this variation request. The cover sheet does indicate there's an ordinance in here. That ordinance has not yet been drafted, and it would be depending on your vote tonight.
okay, I see. So we had a vote of 5-0 with one absent at the ZBA. Any questions you have for the petitioner?
None?
Is there anything else that you want to add?
No, I do have an artist rendering of the home as a finished product that we will be, our goal is to make it look like we've never been at the property when we finish the addition, so we kind of maintain the aesthetics of the neighborhood. So this is the home that we'll be building.
Very nice. I would entertain a motion on this subject.
I'll read it off of here so I get the wording right, and I will.
Just not there with the ordinance in there, just a motion to approve the request,
Okay.
if that's the way you're moving.
Where to go? Well, I move to approve the setback variance for 12321 South Hobart, variance being 19.36 feet.
Second?
Hearing a motion and a second, would the clerk please call the roll?
Yes.
Yes.
Mayor Mahoney.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You're very
Thanks for your
welcome.
time.
Absolutely. By my agenda. So, information updates, Public Works and Streets, Commissioner Milovich Walters.
Thank you, Mayor Mahoney. I do not have anything on the agenda, but just a few announcements from Recreation. Thank you to everyone who attended It's Chili in the Park on February 18th. We had 21 cooks on site and a panel of 15 judges to determine the competition chili winners. The cooks were from 19 different communities from 3 different states, so they came far and wide to our competition. Over 100 people entered the event and helped choose the public's favorite cook. The Palos Park Women's Club were on hand serving hot dogs and chili dogs for their fundraising efforts. And David Gatus and Mitch Mayer entertained the crowd with music stemming from the 50s to present day.
They
So it
were
was a
good.
lot of fun, and for anyone who went, thank you. And anyone who missed it, put it on your calendar for next year. We've started registration for spring classes at the Recreation Center. Some things that are starting early in March are our early childhood classes, the We School and Little Chefs. We also have youth athletics starting with miniature soccer league, junior t-ball, and beginner golf. We also have educational type classes. We have STEM classes, straw rockets they'll be making, and a hocus pocus magic class. And then with our fitness, we have strength training and yoga starting in March. We also have men's basketball for adults starting. So if you want to play some pickup games, join that. And then we have our senior wellness and the AARP Smart Driving Safety course that starts in March. And they're doing a trip on St. Patrick's Day to Gaelic Park. So if you are interested, call 708-671-3760 for more information. And that concludes my report.
Thank you kindly. Building and Public Property Report. Commissioner Reed is still out. so I will read his report. Residents reminded to be aware about scam tactics. With spring approaching, residents are being advised to be on the lookout for scam artists posing as contractors. Some of the warning signs that you need to be aware are people soliciting door to door. Professionals do not do this. Claim to be working in your neighborhood and notice that you need repairs. Offer a free inspection, which always turns up with a major repair. Tell you that you need to act right away. Tell you that they have leftover materials from another job that you could use, want to be paid in cash, do not provide a detailed contract, ask for a large down payment. Make sure that anyone doing work for you is registered with the village and has pulled all necessary permits. The building department is here to help protect you from these unscrupulous individuals. Call us at 708-671-3730 to verify if contractor is registered with the village. Do we have that online as well? That's what I thought. So, good. So you can actually look online. The building department processed 16 permits from February 7th to 21st, resulting in $3,912 in permit fees. 15 inspections were completed during this period. Tree bank fees of $23,688.75 were collected. And that concludes the building report. Public Health and Safety Commissioner Polk.
Thank you, Mayor Mahoney. Let's start with the monthly police activity report. It's actually bi-monthly. Activity from Feb 13 through February the 26th. We had 1,217 calls for service, so we've been averaging about 600 calls a week or so. Wrote 40 adjudication tickets and an additional 9 traffic tickets. The difference between those two is the fact that we can settle the adjudication tickets locally, whereas the traffic tickets go to Bridgeview. Case reports, an additional 24, arrested 5 adults. Fortunately, no juvenile arrests, impounded a vehicle, performed 14 senior checks, 29 citizen assists, an additional 21 community contact hours. So that's what your Palos Park Police Department has been up to. The second thing, we talked about this 2 weeks ago, but the Palos Park Police Department is proud to announce that we are the second agency in Illinois and the first in Cook County to partner with the Pink Patch Project. That's what the Pink Patch looks like. It's a public awareness campaign and fundraiser in support of breast cancer research. Agencies across the United States have banded together and supported this cause. It has a particularly poignant local meaning for us and the Palos Park police officers. They'll be wearing a pink version of our shoulder patch. That shoulder patch will also be available for sale at the Palos Park Police Department. 100% of the proceeds donated to a breast cancer research organization making a local impact. So if you're interested, you can, are they here?
They're not here yet. We actually had increased the order because we had a lot of inquiries from the
I know
public.
there's been a lot of inquiries, so what are we charging for them, do you know?
$10 a patch.
$10 a
100%
patch.
of it goes to a cancer group that works with Palos Hospital.
So we underwrote making the patch. Y'all can contribute to supporting the cause. You're interested, give us a holler, and it'll be up on social media, and we'll put it on the Palos Park website when the patches are actually here and available. So for those of you who've been asking, that's what it's all about. A couple of issues regarding scam alerts. Notice that the building department has been talking about this too. We've got a lot of people falling for a spoofing technique which disguises an email to appear as if it is from a particular organization or executive there. The email is sent to an employee from any particular business requesting a list of employees and their W-2 forms. So this is made to look like it's coming from a business that may either be employing you or that you're a part of. And then once you fall victim to it, you provide your W-2 information. Sometimes that information is used to file false tax claims, as well as any other confidential information that's asked for. So just because an email looks like it's coming from someplace important, I got news for you. Your company's not gonna send you an email asking you for a copy of your W-2. It's just not ever gonna happen. The IRS is not gonna send you an email asking for last year's tax documents, your bank account information. They don't send emails. Take it from someone who got a letter from the IRS. It's a very official looking document that comes directly from Washington and the IRS. If you have any questions at all, you can either call us, or you can actually call the people who purporting to send it to you. Because if you call the human resource director at your company and ask them why they want your W-2, they're going to say, where are you from?
The IRS does not send emails.
No, the IRS
They
does
are-
not make telephone
They are
calls.
committed to 20th century technology.
Snail mail, someone's got to support the post office. Michael?
Your employer sent you the W-2.
Yeah, typically. So if they're asking you for your W-2, you gotta think, there's a disconnect here somewhere. They had it. We're sorry, Mr. Polk, but we need your W-2 back. Right. Again, if it sounds funky or it raises a question in your mind, just either ask questions about it or walk away from it. I can actually promise you that if your company wants to find you and your W-2, they know where you are. Same thing with the IRS. They want your information, they'll be happy to find you. Lots of IRS telephone scams these days. It's that time of the year. So they may even go as far as showing up on your doorstep with a fake IRS badge. Again, the IRS does not drop by your house to see how you're doing. It doesn't happen that way. So if you're contacted by one of these people, we'd be more than happy to run interference for you. So give us a call. Normal business hours would be useful. Don't know that this is a 911 emergency kind of a thing. But if you have any questions about anything, particularly if you consider that it's a scam, just give us a holler and we'll be happy to check it out for you. But a little bit of caution here is very useful. Unfortunately, we had a resident in Palos Park a couple weeks ago that fell victim to another scam. This is the "Hello Grandma, I'm in Mexico and in jail" scam. And the person was very convincing. And despite the fact that the person who was giving the money back to her supposed grandson was warned a couple times, she was fearful that it was true. And she sent a couple, $3,000, $4,000 to somebody that didn't have anything to do with her grandson. So again, if it sounds goofy, give us a call. We'll be happy to help check it out. Third thing I want to talk a little bit about is that the Palos Park Police are plunging again for the annual Polar Plunge. The spring thaw has come. There's no ice in the lake anymore. But that's not going to prevent our daunting officers from going into the freezing water in Lake Manteno. So again,
Is it still a polar plunge? If it's the water's
all I
temperature
can-
is 70 degrees. That's
I
my
doubt it will be 70, but one could argue that it's no longer the polar plunge. We still need help. Any amount is appreciated. And again, you can go on the Palos Park Police website or lots of, again, information and social media about this. If you feel that you'd like to support that activity, all of the money goes to Special Olympics. And we usually raise $1,500, $2,000 here. Last year was a big year, but that was special. So there you have it. And then lastly, I'd like to remind you, it's that time of year again, the Metropolitan Alliance of Police, which is a union that represents our full-time police officers, is making telephone calls. I know there were a couple people who received them last week, looking for donations to their cause. Certainly, if you want to support the police union, you are welcome to send the money. That money does not stay in Palos Park. That money goes wherever the police union feels it ought to go. So, if you do want to support the Palos Park Police Department, the easiest way for you to do this and have a paper trail that will give you an appropriate tax deduction is to use the Palos Park Police Foundation. If you Google Palos Park Police Foundation, they have their own website, and we get donations through the year. We're also in the middle of their fundraising campaign. So if you're interested in financially supporting the Palos Park Police Department for whatever reason, $1, $5, $30,000 would be nice. We actually got a donation of $30,000. We'd be more than happy to facilitate that and keep the money in Palos Park where it goes directly to the police department that you want to support. Chief Miller,
Nothing else.
nothing else? You're all dressed up tonight. You want to call?
I'm working here.
You're working. I think somebody should be. That concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Accounts and finances, Barb, we have anything that we need to?
Nothing tonight.
Okay. My report, we have an item this evening, a little cleanup regarding our village code in regard to sale and service of alcoholic beverages. This is an ordinance amending Part 8, Title 2, Chapter 808, Sections 808.24B3 and 808.25A of the Palos Park Village Code. A little background. Tastings of alcohol beverages must be done by a registered tasting representative in accordance with the Illinois Liquor Control Commission rules. Currently, our code only allows tasting of wine. We are expanding the samplings to include beer and distilled spirits in amounts allowed by the Illinois Liquor Control Commission. Also, Section 808.25A currently states that a commercial or building organization cannot serve alcoholic beverages on village property. We would like to include commercial business organizations that are participating in an event that is sponsored by the village. The recommendation is to adopt an ordinance amending the code in the manner that I just described. Recommended motion, if someone were to want to so move, is to adopt an ordinance amending Part 8, Title 2, Chapter 808, Sections 808.24B3 and 808.25A of the Palos Park Village Code in regard to the sale and service of alcoholic beverages, which is
I'll make that motion.
attached.
I'll second that made motion.
Excellent. Any questions, comments? If not, would the clerk please?
Commissioner Rutherford?
Yes.
Commissioner Polk?
Yep.
Yes. Okay, that concludes my report. Clerk Aragoni,
I have no report this evening.
we'll take it right to the manager, Manager Rick Boehm.
There's two matters on tonight's agenda for council consideration. The first is a referral to the Plan Commission for a public hearing on amendments to Part 12, Title 6 of the Village Code to correct voting requirements set forth therein. During some recent review of some recent sections of the code, the village attorney noticed that certain voting requirements contained in our code do not line up with the requirements granted or the authority granted to non-home rule municipality by state statutes. And therefore, we're just asking that this matter be sent to the Plan Commission to hear this amendment and then refer it back to the village council.
So, anyone want to make a motion to that effect?
You
So
want
moved.
referring it to the Plan Commission for public hearing?
That very same one.
Okay. Awesome, I'll second it.
Hearing a motion and a second, would the clerk please call the roll?
Yes.
Commissioner Rutherford?
Yes.
Yes, thank you.
The second item that I have is just for an approval for a pair of copiers at the Recreation Department. A little background, actually the copiers that we have right now are under contract through next year, August of next year. We did have a vendor come in and said he could save us some money if we wanted to replace them now and upgrade them. One of them is pretty old, so between the service on those and the lease pricing, we did a little research and comparing two companies that we looked at. The recommendation is to go with the ISBS, which has a total monthly cost of approximately $3.50 more a month. However, they give us more in terms of overages. We have a lot of overages under that contract, as well as our experience. We've recently been doing business with this company for the administration copier, the police department copier, and we found that the service is excellent. Repair requests are done within the hour. So that was one of the main reasons the village wanted to see if we could stick with having one vendor for our machines. So the recommendation is to approve a proposal from ISBS for 2 multifunction copiers, the Savin MPC 2504, I'm sorry, copier for the registration office, and the Carcio FSC whatever for the staff office. You know what it says there. Total of $313.02 per month, which is $18,781.20 for 60 months.
So I just have a question before we go forward. You want to lock yourself into a 5-year contract?
We've locked ourselves into these contracts, which normally, they don't last. We usually have another buyout in about 3 to 4 years. What we do is, this is how it spreads out the money, so we don't have to have that much up front, and that's the way we've been doing our business as of late. In this particular case, part of the deal that ISBS is offering us is to buy out the lease of the old copier. So there's a $2,783.04 buyout as part of their lease.
Do you have any questions?
Oh, that just answered mine, so.
I'd entertain a motion.
Well, I guess I'll make the motion to approve it, because I know we do need the copiers, so. We'll motion to approve the proposal from ISBS for the 2 multifunction copiers, the A-Savin and the Kyocera for the staff office and the recreation department, for a total of $313.02 a month for 60 months.
Second.
Any motion and a second, would the clerk please call the roll?
Commissioner Milovich Walters?
Yes.
Commissioner Polk?
Yep.
Yes.
The last thing I just wanted to say is, last meeting, I did talk a little bit about road construction going to be occurring in town this next year. One of the jobs, which is the resurfacing of 123rd Street, McCarthy Road, east of LaGrange Road, that has been proceeding along. There's actually a pre-construction meeting at the end of this month. So we're looking at, likely, the time frame is sometime April to June, you will see 123rd Street resurfaced. We'll have some patching with that. We're going to see how much they're really going to do. This is an IDOT contract, so we will be in attendance at the pre-construction meeting to see what anything else. It's a pretty straightforward job. They're not reconstructing it, which would certainly be the best of it, but they don't have the money to do that, so they'll be resurfacing it often.
All right, well, the last time we had a serious resurfacing was 2006. It's amazing, it only takes 11 years to go from asphalt to gravel.
Yeah, the roadway has a lot of drainage issues, there's a lot of base issues, but to redo it the way it should be done would cost, it'd be a very multi-million-dollar project. The state, I guess we're just grateful that they're going to maintain the road. They did some work on patching last summer in anticipation of this project.
Okay.
That's all I got.
I have a few announcements. ZBA will not meet Wednesday, March 8th, as there are no agenda items. Save the date, World War II exhibition, March 9th through 12th. Exhibit will feature privately owned museum quality artifacts consisting of weapons, uniforms, flags, and items specifically from Nagasaki and Hiroshima. Admission is $12, $10 for seniors and students. Veterans and military are free. More information to follow as it becomes available. This relates, of course, to the McCord Gallery and Cultural Center. Stag Music Boosters presents Art for the Season, an Arts and Crafts Festival on Saturday, March 18th from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. and Sunday, March 19th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. The festival will include arts, crafts, vendor booths, raffles, lunch, and food sampling. Adult admission is $2 for the show. Children are free. Music Boosters appreciate your support in helping them raise funds for the music programs at Stag, benefiting hundreds of high school students.
Along that line, if I may, District 118 has their fundraiser coming up. This year, they're calling it March Madness. And it's March 11th, and it is in support of your school district, District 118. For more information, palos118.org. Click on the PFA link, and you can get more information. It'll be right here at Palos Country Club on Saturday, March 11th. Auction, live auction, silent auction, and fun dancing to DJ. So there you go.
But then, it's March Madness, but there is no March Madness yet at that point.
I know, but they're going with that. I don't know.
Depends on your point of view.
I didn't name it.
I'm not trying to raise a ball.
I didn't name it, I swear.
Could be March pre-madness.
I will suggest that they put in the pre in small print.
All right. Citizens and visitors comment period. Anyone from the audience like to address the council?
My name is Sue Parker. I live at 12503 South 79th Avenue. First, I want to thank the village. They were out there. My husband met with Mr. Boehm, Mr. Mahoney, I think Mr. Stubravis last week about the flooding, and they were out there, the worker bees, dredging, everything, and they did a fantastic job. It's not the last you've heard from us, for sure. I can assure you of that. But thank you very much for that.
Absolutely.
We want to get a little bit of clarification from Mr. Boehm, if we could, about the item number 1 on the voting recommendations or referring the amendments to the Plan Commission. Is there any particular chapter or chapters that you're referring to in Title VI? There are 16 chapters contained in Chapter 12, Title VI.
There's numerous sections in there that have voting requirements in there that they will be referred on to the Plan Commission. It's just trying to bring that in line with the state statute and.
Totally agree. We were knee-deep in it when we were going through this the first time around with some proposals that are set forth. At what point will there be something in writing that we can get where it will say exactly what chapters you're going to refer to and what those amendments are, how they're going to read?
It will be, part of it will be in the public hearing notice that will be sent out and then on the agenda for the Plan Commission.
And do you know when you anticipate sending out the public hearing notice?
It'll be scheduled for the April Plan Commission meeting. I can't give you a specific date right now.
Just one of for the April meeting?
Correct.
Right. Third Thursday.
Okay, so we'll have some idea of which chapters you're referring to and exactly how the amendments are going to read so that we can see.
We'll have the chapters. It will be a little clearer when it comes to the Plan Commission, exactly how that's going to read in the staff sheet and the cover sheet. But the public hearing notice will cite those chapters.
Okay, and will it say what the amendments say, or do we have to FOIA it as to what the staff recommendations are?
No, I mean, you can, certainly if you want to give me a ring or something, I can certainly get that to you, but they are just changing it to meet state law.
And we're in total agreement with that. We just need to see, our lawyers have been working with the village lawyers and everything. We just want to make sure that we're all on the same page so that we understand what chapters are being changed, what amendments are being made. We need to see it in writing too. So
Manager Boehm, do you want to just have our village attorney explain in brief what?
Right, there are certain provisions of the village code that provide for extraordinary majority vote requirements that are inconsistent with what state statute provides for a non-home rule municipality. What is being proposed, and because it's part of the zoning ordinance, has to go to the Plan Commission, is a cleanup to bring all those voting requirements into compliance with state law so that should a petition go through, the petition couldn't challenge the fact that the vote requirements were wrong and
Absolutely.
therefore they were not treated fairly.
Absolutely, and you're totally right about that. And I think there's been a lot of back and forth about it. That's why we just want to make sure from our side that we know which chapters are affected and what the
Absolutely.
amendment reads so that we're all on the same page before a proposal that we know is coming to the Plan Commission gets voted on and comes to the village council. I assume we're talking about what that voting is going to be once it
Correct. The
comes
voting
back to this body.
requirement- Right, all the voting requirements relate to, in given circumstances, what the vote requirement is by the village council, because they're the ultimate authority whereas Plan Commission and ZBA are only recommending bodies.
Correct. So right now, we're looking at, Plan Commission is going to make a recommendation to the village council, and as it stands right now, or there had been question about whether it was 3/5, 4/5, whatever it was, that 66%
Correct,
Illinois
and
law.
anticipating that if we have people petitioning, we want to make sure our code provides the proper votes, so that isn't an issue in any matter.
Totally agree, couldn't agree more. Glad that we're all on the same page.
Yep.
But I just want to make sure that we can get, so when would you like me to call you? And never is not an acceptable answer.
Well, first of all, he wouldn't say never.
I would think, it's clearly before the Plan Commission meeting, so towards the beginning of June. Or, I'm
No,
sorry,
no,
April.
no.
I
It says the
apologize.
meeting's in April.
Okay, April. I apologize, I'm getting ahead of myself. Beginning of April.
At the very beginning of April is fine.
Oh, I mean,
April
second.
Fool's Day, we'll both remember that.
The April meeting, you can call me in June.
Yeah, exactly, that's what I mean.
I've never used that one before.
April Fool's Day.
man.
Now,
Because I
we'll
won't
have
forget
it probably the week before the Plan Commission meeting, so.
And it's the third Thursday, so we're really looking more around tax day,
Perfect.
right?
Yeah.
If he doesn't answer, call me.
Oh, I'll call him, because he loves to hear from us. Thank you.
I feel unloved.
Thank you. Anyone else like to address the council at this time? Hearing no such requests, I would entertain a motion to adjourn at this time.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you all and good evening.
They say